Welcome everybody to Smell It Sunday here on my secondary channel. The channel called Aromatically Speaking. This is a primarily live channel where I go live. Sometimes spontaneously, but what we do is we have a program. 2 p.m. Today I'm late. You're not late. We're running a little bit late on Sunday. We try to do as many Sundays as we possibly can. We go live and we talk about, what do we talk about? Aromatically speaking, when we talk about candles, we talk about things in our lives like coffee, hot beverages, things that make us, aromas that make us feel nostalgic. Bring back those memories from a childhood. Make us feel warm and cozy to set the stage for a relaxing Sunday afternoon. And they tell me we've done a little spring forward. Indeed, we set the clocks ahead last evening. I hope everyone got enough sleep. I got enough. But I have my coffee here, freshly brewed, and we have a really fun live today. We have, the headline does not lie. We have lots of candles from my collection. Now last week I picked out candles. What did I pick out candles for? I can't remember what the concept was. Well, today's theme, while I'm trying to remember, is it's not yet spring. Come on. I mean, I'm looking out the window here. There's snow. It is very much white. It is cold. But some of us wish that spring were coming and wish it was right around the corner. For me, I love the winter. Winter is one of my favorite seasons. But since everyone's talking about spring and St. Patrick's Day, we're even talking about Easter, I thought I'd break out some candles that aren't necessarily new. Actually, I don't think any of them are new, what I'm going to show you today. These are candles that you can hunt at your local Yankee candle. As far as classics, some of them are very rare, so you might have to do some shopping on eBay. And some of them may be repackages that you're going to find at Bath and Body Works. I don't get to talk about Bath and Body Works that much. And so I thought I would do that today, but we have other candle companies to talk about. Lots of candles here on the table. I don't know if we're going to get through, but we're going to do our best. I'm going to pull you guys up. That is always the first step. See who's in the house. And if you're joining us for the first time, go ahead, please hit that subscribe button. This is a great way. My main channel is called the Candle Enthusiast. I'm launching a new channel very, very soon. Very excited about that. And on my main channel, the Candle Enthusiast, I do edited, in-depth evaluations of all different candle companies. I put tons of time and effort. I go into it as if I'm evaluating a wine. The wine industry is something that I worked in for quite a bit of years. Became a certified sommelier out in Napa Valley. And as a joke, my coworkers, because of the Wine Enthusiast magazine, they started calling me the Candle Enthusiast. And it kind of stuck. I'm looking at all your faces now that I have you pulled up, and I want to welcome everybody. And as we start trickling in, let me read this headline of the video. Massive candle haul from my collection. So everything that we're going to see, I just pulled them right from my collection. This is my studio. It's also temperature and humidity controlled, which means it's freezing in here right now. But I have over 600 candles in this room. I see we have some candle makers in the house. Washington Wicks, hello. Hello, Nikki. And Lou, Nick, we have Rihanna, I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right. I'm going to keep trying. And Jordan is here. Lou, did I miss anybody? As we trickle in, let's get this going. What else does the headline say? Yankee Candle Bath and Body Works, is spring near? Okay, so we'll talk about that towards the end of the program. I have a topic to talk about. So Let's start with Yankee Candle. Now, if you go to Yankee Candle right now and are looking to buy something for the spring, or even more specifically St. Patrick's Day, Lucky Shamrock has returned after taking, I think, a 2 year, actually I think it was only a 1 year hiatus. And so that is a really great candle if you like big, monstrous green candles. If you shop at your local outlets, make sure you look for, um, is it called, oh God, I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's called Big Green, I believe. There's some really cool ones that a lot of people don't talk about. There was a World Journeys collection, Yankee Candle, called the Rolling Hills of Ireland, and nobody talks about that candle. I don't even have it because I burned mine, but it's a great candle for the spring. Again, if you like the green, grassy, chlorophyll, the rich smell of freshly fallen rain in the springtime. And then Emerald Ivy is a long retired. I was only, I think it was a part of a trio that came out. It wasn't very successful, but it is indeed an interesting candle, and it's one I do not have right now. Give me 1 second, if you don't mind. Let's do that. All right. But a candle that is kind of a staple. You'll find it all pretty much all year round if you're shopping at a bigger Yankee Candle storefront, certainly if you're at one of the flagship stores. And I know this is a huge favorite of a lot of people, even people who don't like green grassy. And if you want to see my valuations on all the candles I just mentioned, just after this video, type in the Candle Enthusiast St. Patrick's Day. I've covered all of the St. Patrick's Day candles on my main channel, including this one, but I do want to give it a show. Meadows Showers. I burned my old jar, so I don't have the full older label, but this one is brand spanking new, and let's give it a sniff. You know, as much as I feel like I know these candles, yeah, see, green, grassy, spicy. If you like the spice greens in your local grocery store, like endive, or like the center of an iceberg lettuce, you know, it starts to get yellow and it's a little spicy. It's got a little bit of a bitter astringency to it. I'm not saying this smells, you can't smell bitter and you can't smell astringent, but it does have this spicy green concoction mixed in with a sweet grass. Sweet grass. So we can think of wheatgrass. We can literally think of a handful of grass, wet grass, outside from your lawn, and you just dumped some cane sugar on it. Sweet. It's literally a sweet green grassy candle. And no surprise, you always have to have citrus. There's some form of combination of lime or bergamot, probably lime because this isn't that musky, and some herbal notes as well. Fresh herbal notes, a mint, and parsley. So Meadows Showers, again, a staple, one that's been around for a long time. If you want to speed up the process and get out of the winter because it's spring, or you need a candle that doesn't have shamrocks on it, or doesn't scream out St. Patrick's Day, this is a good one to turn to if you haven't tried it. Again, the classics have been around for years for a reason, because people love them and continue to buy them. And guys, throw me out questions as we go along. This is what this is all about. I'm going to try to keep my eyes down here where my computer is, and I do read your comments on most occasions after the live is completed. I'll skim through the live to make sure I read all of your comments. I'm just going to turn those down a little bit more. I'm trying to, let's do that. Okay. I've got to go. Maybe I'll join later. Again, Rihanna, thank you for the messages. I appreciate it. Rihanna is a very good friend. She provided us with a really cool gift box to open live during the holidays, and we were chatting about it yesterday. Washington Wicks. Nikki says, I love that one. I'm guessing that's Meadows Showers. I actually like the label on that one. Hey, there we go. Lou is saying that she enjoys this label versus the larger, more classic label. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. There's a little bit more high shine, a little bit more luster to these new labels. And with the chrome borders, you know, sometimes less is more. Michelle says, I'm out, but just tuned in. Well, thank you, Michelle. No, thank you, Michelle. Let's keep going here. I don't even remember what I put down. Here's another video I did, and one that got a huge response. I did a video where I wasn't just sitting at a table. I took this candle and I went out. This candle is called Olive in Time. Olive in Time was a UK European exclusive, hence the large label, right? Because this candle really isn't that old. 17, but I think it came out, maybe it didn't come out in 16. I think it came out in 17. But luckily for us, it showed up in outlets. It showed up in places like Marshall's, Home Goods, places of that nature. Olive and Time. Now, this is one that I can almost guarantee if you're shopping around Yankee Candle, you see Olive and Time, unless Olive or Time has a special meaning in your mind, you're just gonna skip. I bet you're not even gonna sniff it. And if you do sniff it, you may just give it a quick sniff and just bypass it because it's so outside the box. Why would you want your house to smell like Olive and Time? Well, I'll tell you. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I took this candle out. Where did I go? Well, I went out to smell olives and different varieties of thyme and sage and different herbs. But I went to a delicatessen in New Paltz, New York, and I talked with the proprietor who has spent decades running this delicatessen, and I had him sniff the candle, and he was laughing at me, and he let me film him. He was laughing at me when he was smelling, because he's like, wait, you want me to smell a candle? I'm a butcher, you know, I work at a delicatessen. But I started asking him these questions, and I started to find the emotional attachment that he had with his own job, more importantly, his childhood. I almost had this man in tears, and it was such an important, proud moment that I captured on camera. Please check out that video. Again, the Candle Enthusiast, Olive in Time. Plus, that'll give you a much more in-depth breakdown of what this candle is and what's better for spring. This could be a summer candle. This could be a summer candle. Wow. So, a lot of people don't like olives, but don't be afraid of that, please. If you don't like olives, but you love pickles, just think of pickles for a second. But more importantly, this is a not so soggy soggy olive or a black olive, or you know, one that's been brined and looks almost like a raisin. You know, this is a really crispy, crunchy, fresh. I wish I knew some varieties of green olives that I could compare this to, but a really fresh green olive, right? It has that olive quality to it, but most importantly, what blew me away wasn't just the olive note. It was, there is that saline, salty brininess. Now, when you make a pickle, right? When you make olives, right? When you have that solution and you let any item sit in it, what happens is there's a bacteria conversion, a lactis bacillus. It's going to convert, it's going to change the flavors, and it's going to give you a little bit of this, it's not necessarily a fermentation, but a little bit of this briny smell. But it's not nauseating, it's not disgusting, it's actually this really nice nuance. And what else do we put in jars of pickles? You know, peppercorns. I've seen people do juniper berries. I'm going to say juniper berry because I definitely get a coniferous tree of some sort, baby. Oh yeah, coniferous tree, pine needle, hemlock, spruce, whatever you want to call it. Some form of sweet green herbal pine tree. Now, speaking of herbal, we got to talk about the thyme. Now, I do get thyme. Thyme does give you a dill pickle. If you smell fresh thyme, if you spend a lot of time in the kitchen and use fresh herbs, or if you have an herb garden, you know, dill gives you that nice, not dill, thyme. Dill definitely makes it smells like dill, but thyme has a little bit of this rosemary dill thing going on. And I would say they're definitely both in here. We have a little bit of a dill, and definitely both finely coursed thyme and dill herb in this candle. That's right. And don't forget about sage, but that's a hard thing to talk about because there's so many different varieties of sage. This is not going to be a skunky kind of sage. This is much more of a culinary sage. If I pulled out like white sage right here, or trying to think of a Bath and Body Works candle at the moment. They used something called desert sage, which I never heard of. So many varieties of sage, but this is so far herbal. It's briny. It smells like a fresh green olive. We got a little bit of dill, but then we have. Remember I said that cracked black pepper? Yeah, don't forget about that. A little bit of spice in there, and that spice is going to draw this line between a spicy olive oil. Olive oil's a little bit spicy, like California olive oil, Spanish olive oil, a little bit grassy, a little bit spicy on the back end. Has that approach. I can keep going. We even talk about the citrus. You have to have citrus, and if you think about like a salad, right, and you have olives in there and herbs, you know, you're gonna have some form of lemon juice, right? You know, just kind of sprayed on top there. So this definitely is a fresh, in the kitchen, really gourmet, outside the box. If you are a culinary person at heart and you love herbs and you love olives from any place in the world, you know, it doesn't have to be I'm not going to say this is like a certain cuisine. Anyway, olive and thyme, one more look at that. I highly recommend it. Again, I hate to say go on eBay, because if you go on eBay, you might spend like $35. But if you keep your eyes open, places like Home Goods, you might find it for $8. So don't get mad at me if you find it for a cheaper price. We have another candle maker in the house, Leslie Pethybridge. Hello, Leslie. It was so serene, thoughtful, and well done, Leslie. Definitely captured the delicate herbal aspect of summertime. What was that about? Olive and Thyme, says Carol, was one of my favorite videos you have done. Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much. I have several of these candles because I really connected with that fragrance for some reason. I think I had that same experience, Carol. I definitely connected with it. I wish I had more. Definitely cooking / kitchen would be great, burning with a savory meal cooking. Anybody who burns a candle while dining, doing a little candle fragrance, pairing with food or beverage, you're all good in my book. And while we're here, do we have Nancy in the house? Nancy is not here. Somebody let me know when Nancy, if and when she pops in. Because she is the winner of a little contest, and I want to announce that. Let me just skim through these. All right. You guys are gonna hate me for that. I apologize. I keep turning my back to the camera. Here's white sage. I was looking for it over here, and I pulled it out. I really don't think of sage. I think of not like Irish Spring bar soap, but this smells like a waft of something kind of pretty that you would smell in the soap aisle of your local market. It's definitely clean. It definitely diverges from that culinary aspect. But if you want to think about like a greenhouse effect, you walk in, you smell all of that green vegetation. You can think of it that way. Here is a classic, if there ever was one. And if there ever was a candle that you love it or you hate it. Can anybody guess what it is by me showing the color? I don't know. I just don't understand. Some people just don't dig one of the two ingredients in this candle. And I'm looking at this right now. This is a 2015. It's got the old label, and it also has a sticker right there. Look at that. $3.99. This was a Goodwill find. Brand new. Oh man. I remember they hadn't even put it out on the shelf yet. It was on one of those racks, and there was a gentleman loading up the racks. I just grabbed it right from the rack. This is going to be lemon lavender, another video I did. I'm not trying to promote my videos, although it's not a bad idea. I made a beverage, again in New Paltz. I made a beverage at a restaurant with my own ingredients, with the help of my server. I tried to make a beverage that would match the aromatics of this candle. It was delicious. It was delicious. One of these days I want to do it for real, and actually make a recipe. But it contained a lemon or lemon lavender. There's no end in there. It's lemon lavender. On that label, we have a wicker basket filled with Meyer lemons, Serrano lemons. You tell me. I don't know. How do you tell the variety of a lemon? Just by looking at it. They look like Meyer lemons to me. And then down there we have some maybe freshly picked lavender. It's definitely freshly picked. In the label, it's freshly picked. It's not dried lavender. It's not a lavender that you would find, you know, in a shop like New Paltz, you know, to wrap up and burn to christen your house. This is still right off the side of the road, fresh. What a wonderful combination. Let's give this a sniff. This is a classic. This is a classic. Again, there's a reason why candles stick around for years and years, because people continue to buy them. And wow. Oh, man. Do you ever smell something and you can swear you're smelling a color? It's actually not a good thing to do. And when I was teaching my nose, or training my nose, I should say, for the wine industry, I had this whole thing where I called the color test, where you can't let color guide your mind on what something smells like. So sometimes you smell a red wine and you want to say, ooh, this smells like strawberry or raspberry, but really it smells like blueberries, plums, and like boysenberry. But because that wine's red, you want to say red fruit. But when I smell this, I definitely do smell purple. Purple. What are those candies, those floral, I think they're called floral kiss candies. They're fruity, they're floral, they're hard candies. I'm not even sure which country. I think they come from China. I'm not sure to be any more specific than that. Flower kiss candies. There's a really pretty I mean, it's strong, but not aggressive and like sneezy floral, right? Like you ever, like, you know, a stargazer lily, you know, that kind of stuff can really bother you if you're not into florals. But this is soft, of course, lavender, very fresh. Take that fresh lavender, rub it in your hands like this, right on the side of the road. Exude those oils on your palms, your hands, and then smell. That's the best kind of fragrance money can buy right there. Forget about that kind of stuff. Just rub the lavender, as long as you're not allergic to it, right on your hand. But there's other florals in here too. There is a muskiness. We talked about stargazer lily. What about lily of the valley? A little bit of lily of the valley, giving this a little bit of a powdery muskiness, not overbearing, but a little bit of that. And then lily. Yes, have we smelled lily recently? And I'm really working here. I don't, I should probably rehearse when I do this. And I can't get over, before I talk about the citrus notes, there's a candy aspect to that. Yeah, we have that our flower kiss candy, hard candy thing. But think about like grape now and laters, grape sour candies, grape maybe airheads. They don't make grape starburst, do they? This doesn't smell like grape soda. This doesn't smell like Concord jelly. But there is a candy-esque grape thing here. Now again, you might think the color is getting to me, but no. There's something sweet in there, and that's really nice because that sweetness takes the edge off the intensity of the candles. But the citrus, I think this is what people really have a problem with this candle. Citrus, especially lemon, especially when it comes to the zest of the lemon. Sometimes, like if you have something like Sicilian Lemon by Yankee Candle, it can come off as refreshing. Or sometimes you could have something like All Is Bright. Remember All Is Bright, where a lot of people perceive that smell as lemon pledge or furniture polish, and to them it's more of an overwhelming clean smell in comparison to something that's really refreshing. And to me, it's really how your nose wants to interpret this and your associations. I didn't have a lot of lemon pledge. My dad didn't use it growing up. So I don't really have an association with lemon-based cleaning products, except for like the lemon pine sol. Remember, you would use that. But to me, I don't mind. This is supposed to smell clean. This, to me, is what, if my laundry room always smelled like this, I would be incredibly happy. I have a tendency, my laundry room, is always in a basement or below the foundation. Or there's been times where I haven't even had laundry rooms. I had to go to the laundromat. And this, to me, is just like you walk into one of those commercials and the windows open, the drapes are blown, the sun is pouring in, and it's just pulling on all of those lovely smells of fresh lavender. And maybe there's that Meyer lemon tree, like I had, right in California. Oh man, I never had to buy lemons. There's a tree right there. And Super Simple Arts and Crafts, Monica Carlson is in the house. Monica Carlson, my sister-in-law, thank you for joining in. Always, it's always a thrill to see her avatar. She's got that great smile. Monica, lemon lavender, yes or no? I don't know if you've smelled it. I don't know if you burned it. For all I know, you're burning it right now. I don't know. But I know you love lemon. You know what, Monica, how about this? I got it. I got something Monica's gonna enjoy. Because Monica has every home remedy in the world. And as much as I want to say sometimes, like, she's pretending to know what she's talking about, she actually does know what she's talking about, and most of her remedies work. Whenever I have a headache or if I feel sick, she whips up some kind of crazy concoction and tells me to drink it or put it on my face, and it works. But Monica, her favorite ingredient, I think, in the world, correct me if I'm wrong, is going to be ginger. This, I guess, a Yankee Candle keeps changing the names. I call this a treasure, call this a returning favorite, call it whatever you will, but this was something that came out for the semi-annual sale. Yeah, the semi-annual sale last year, the beginning of last year, like as in 2018. Even though this is a 2017 pour. This is an oldie that they brought back called Ginger Citrus. And then on there we have those dehydrated and candy ginger nuggets. I love those things. Whenever I get nausea, in a plane or in a car. I drive a lot, and I still get car sick sometimes. Ooh, yeah. This is not just the lime, it's the zest, it's the juice, it's the lime tree. It's the leaves on the tree. There is the whole tree experience. It's very green, very outdoors. If you've ever been in a citrus grove and that sun is beating down on that citrus fruit, it's hitting the fruit right, and it's so warm that the smell is exuding from the zest of the fruit. And you just walk around those aisles of citrus groves, and it just smells like, it smells like citrus, but it smells beautifully green, beautiful outdoor experience. Citrus grove. Not something I grew up with. I grew up with apple orchards, but that ginger is there. It's very sweet. And I think there's a little bit of bergamot in that too. So maybe Monica would burn lemon, lavender, and that citrus ginger together for a nice, clean laundry room experience. Monica says, any citrus smells amazing. There's Nancy. I love citrus scents, my favorite, says Nicole. So Nancy, we're gonna take a really quick break. Actually, before we do that, I can't believe I missed this. I wanted to point this out. I'm sure this has national distribution here in the U.S., but I don't know if it always did. Myers soap products. This scent. I wanted to recommend this with several of these, but especially that olive and thyme candle. Look for this scent if you're in, I'm guessing Walmart, Target. Well, actually, this is a parsley scent, but it contains olive oil and aloe vera, even better. So I highly recommend this one. This is the one. I always get a few different scents, but this one, I always have a spare one on hand because I love the smell. It really does smell super herbal and refreshing. I mean, like I don't even want to say pesto. You know, it smells like freshly chopped herbs, sprinkled with your favorite olive oil. Again, anything that's aromatic is open for discussion. And then Nancy. So the other day on my Instagram account, I posted a picture of a Yankee candle, and I blurred out the label. It was an older Yankee candle that's now retired. I blurred out the label, and I put a big question mark in the picture, and I said, whoever can guess what this candle, this fragrance is, first one to guess it correctly, I'm going to send you, nothing anything huge or expensive, but I'm going to send you a personalized postcard in the mail, no matter where you are in the world. It's really just the cost of a postcard and a stamp, but it's much more expensive to send a candle. But thank you for participating, Nancy. Nancy got it so quickly. She figured it out, and I also said that I would give the winner a shout out. Nancy is a dear friend of mine. All of us here at the Candle Enthusiast and the channel on our Facebook fan group. Check out the have you not gone to the Facebook fan group? Go to Facebook. You have a Facebook account. I know you do. Search the Candle Enthusiast fan group. If you want to talk about what's going on in the industry, what other people are burning, if you have questions and you just don't know and you need to talk with someone who's been burning candles for decades, or if you want to share your knowledge with others, or if you don't even want to talk about candles at all, you just want to talk about anything else aromatic, if you want to talk about a movie that you saw last night, we welcome it. All we ask is that we keep it a family-friendly, very safe, non-aggressive environment. If you can do that, we'd love to have you. It's a great space, and it's constantly growing. I'm really proud of it. I had nothing to do with it. I always say, I always want to make sure that people know I have nothing to do with it. It was completely created by the viewers of the Candle Enthusiast. But Nancy has been with me from the very beginning, since I started creating videos, and on all my social media platforms. This is how she got this. On Instagram, candle.enthusiast. That is my handle. She guessed it correctly. The blurred out label was Fruit Smoothie. This is a black band. I think they retired this in 2007-ish. I can't say it for sure. But it's funny that they haven't brought this back because, the smoothies now, with like Jamba Juice. I mean, I guess in 2007 Jamba Juice was big, but, smoothies seem to be a hot ticket. I'm surprised we haven't seen like a kale smoothie candle yet, but fruit smoothie, something whipped up in your Vitamix. This was a great candle. This one is probably gonna be a mid-90s candle, and it smells outrageously good. Peach and strawberry, citrus for days, citrus juice, fresh lemon juice, a lot of berries. Sweet and tart. Again, those are things that we perceive on our tongue, not through our nose, but when you smell this, you would assume if you tasted it, sweet. I'm not gonna say sour, but sweet and tart. So congratulations to Nancy Martinez for getting that right. She got it within a couple of minutes. I have a postcard, really cool postcard, coming your way. Thank you for participating, and make sure you go over to my Instagram account and give me a follow, because I'm going to keep doing this, and maybe we'll start doing candles from time to time. Now let's switch gears, because we're already about 40 minutes in. Let's talk about Bath and Body Works before we do any. Let's do this. Here is a candle that I've held on to it for a long time because I liked it. I did a video on this way back in the early days. There was a collection from Bath and Body Works called Hit Refresh in early 2017, and I think there were 10 fragrances. One was a watermelon that came out way later, and then one was exclusive to White Barn. The other ones could be purchased at Bath & Body Works, but there was one that was exclusive to White Barn, and it's the one inside of this box. And it's inside of this box for a good reason, because it's so incredibly strong. So Bath & Body Works people, listen up. Again, this is something where, and I'm gonna do a little compare and contrast, because I got several candles that fall into this category. Oh my God, the lid is still on here. And I'm overwhelmed by this aroma. Wow. Anybody know what that is? Look, first of all, look at the glass. This collection had this frosted, but still translucent glass. It was really nice. It was. A lot of the glasses like this kind of get dinged up easy and scratched, but for whatever reason, this thing just held up great. Even the bottom's not scratched at all. This one, hit or miss. I can understand why this was a White Barn exclusive, because I don't think this isn't for everybody. But if you are just you're like me and you need to really venture out into aggressive fragrances. This one is called Tomato Vine. Tell me, people, did anyone burn this candle, buy this candle, smell this candle, and tell me what you think? Tomato Vine. Now, upon first sniff, if you have a garden, you know what tomato vine smells like. And if you don't know what a tomato vine smells like, because a lot of people, we might just know what a tomato smells like. Tomato vine or tomato leaves, this is key. What you can do is go to the grocery store, if you don't have your own garden. Go to the section where they have the tomatoes on the vine, right? They have the tomatoes, but then also have the tomatoes on the vine. Pick one of the leaves. You don't even need to rub it in your hand. Just crack it open like this. and smell it. And you're gonna be like, wow, that is an intense smell. And if you're a gardener, oh my Lord, this is an incredibly intense tomato vine, tomato leaf, tomatoey, maybe. I don't want to, why put tomato in there? There's really more of a green smell here. But this is one of the, I'm serious, I've smelled a lot of Bath & Body Works candles. I don't own a lot of Bath & Body Works candles. Not because of anything against them, but this is one of the most impressive, most authentic, most well-constructed Bath & Body Works kind of ever smelled, because it's not just about the tomato leaf. I'm going to elaborate. There is this, again, aggressive green, and if you don't know what tomato leaf smells, like I said, you go to the grocery store, but imagine a super, super concentrated, intense celery aroma. A lot of people who don't know what a tomato vine smells like will smell this and be like, ooh, my God, that smells like celery, like really aggressive celery. Yeah. Very similar compounds. And a very similar fragrance. But see, it's not just that. A lot of people are going to smell this and say they smell like topsoil or soil or earthiness. And again, that's your mind just playing tricks with you, because we associate this smell so closely with being out in the garden. But there is other things. Let's go back to that olive oil. I already mentioned that California olive oil, Spanish olive oil, you know, Italian olive oil tends to be a little bit more fruity, where Spanish olive oil or young olive oil, and I, you know, I spent a lot of time doing, you know, California olive oil tastings, has this hay, dried grass, cracked black pepper spiciness to it. So, okay, so the hay, spice, the key here is the cracked black pepper. Hold on to that, okay? Olive oil, right? The olive oil, it's reminding me of that olive oil, but it's also reminding me of that cracked black pepper. So olive oil, tomato, cracked black pepper, okay. Lemon zest and lemon juice. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see where I'm going with this? This doesn't smell like a tomato vine. What we're doing is all of these associations, all of these notes in here is constructing a salad, right? A really aggressively green salad. We have the olive oil, the lemon juice that's serving as, you know, the vinaigrette, or instead of using like a vinegar, right? Maybe we have a little bit of lemon juice and something sweet, like maybe a little bit of the juice. So we have these two conflicting things, a heavy green smell with this fruity smell and a little bit of spice. The green is going to be here, the spice is going to be here, and the citrus is going to be here. And you know, when a candle is balanced or anything's balanced, balance doesn't mean it's a flat line. You want to have dynamics, and that's what this candle is doing. I feel like everything is in check. Big bombastic green candle, but it's going to have those nuances to pull this in other directions, give you a little bit of contrasting, give you a little bit of bridging of aromas, but also just compatible smells that belong together. So tomato vine, again, this was called a Hit Refresh Collection. They may have re-released this in a different vessel, a different name, but this is the one I have. I love it. I don't think I can ever burn this one. I like it that much. Maybe I'll buy another one day. But while we're talking about that, let's talk about some other comparable themed candles. Village Candle, a candle company that we don't talk about nearly enough. Village Candle, I've always felt has gotten a bad rap because a lot of people assume that Village Candle is just a knockoff of Yankee Candle. You know, like, it does look very much like a Yankee Candle. Some people see them in grocery stores where they do have a lot of their retail, and they think they're just knockoff cheap candles. But Village Candle is really doing some special things these days. They have incredible vessels, really wild fragrances, and right here is a limited edition candle called Tomato Vine. Now that was our red candle that's putting the tomato into your mind. This one's going to be green, right? So again, you can't let the color influence what you smell, because although that was bright red, really didn't smell anything tomatoey about it. That was definitely a green candle all the way. I love it. I love it. Completely different. Completely different. We have that celery-rich tomato vine thing here. But this is actually reminding me more of some other things in the garden, my father's garden. Cucumber skins, and I'll go even further. English cucumbers, if you want me to be super specific. Or if you want me to go even further than that. Well, it's not further. There is a kosher pickle, not dill, like a dill pickle, not like, wait a minute. Yeah, you know, let me not classify, but a pickle, I gotta brush up on my pickle knowledge. But the pickles that are loaded with the different spices and the garlic, and they're not like the flesh of the pickle isn't like bright, like a Mountain Dew color, not like the ones like a sandwich pickle, right? This is the one that really still looks like some form of melon when you eat it, but it's got the spices, the peppercorn, the herbs, and the garlic inside of the brine. And there is a saline saltiness to this too. But instead of that reminding me of a pickle, that reminds me, you guys are thinking I'm crazy. Okay, I'm just really having fun with this. Instead of that, the saltiness reminding me of a brine, the saltiness here is reminding me kind of like a mineral rich, it's kind of mimicking like soil. It feels like there is a mineral richness to this candle. That saltiness that we experience, not chlorine, but you know, after like a thunderstorm, there's that saltiness in the air too. But definitely much less of that, I would say, authentic tomato vine. This is a green candle. You know, it smells like, you know, the chlorophyll, almost like chloroform. It smells like chlorophyll. It smells like the cucumber skins. It does smell like leaves and tomato vines, but it's really more of a green. I'm getting a little bit of this salty pickle with some, actually, like some culinary influences here. This is a candle I would burn in the kitchen, where the other candle from Bath & Body Works was much more of, to me, that gardening experience. This is a really pretty Christmas candle. Christmas kitchen candle. I'm losing my mind. We got one more tomato candle. This one, Jonathan Alder. This was a gift of one of my dear friends, Erin. I don't know if Erin is in the house, but she sent me this one to evaluate on one of my lives a very long time ago. And again, I just loved it so much that couldn't burn it. And it says right here, because it's a red candle, 10% of the retail price for every Jonathan Alder product, special edition tomato candle, will go to the Global Fund to help fight AIDS. So a great cause as well. And look at the beauty of this. It looks like a tomato. Now again, this one is called it's just called tomato. It's not called tomato vine. I don't see any kind of fragrance notes on here. or a kind of wax. It is a softer wax. I'm sure that's some form of vegetable blend, maybe a little bit of paraffin in there. See, where this one rocks, is the sheer authenticity of that tomato leaf. Where that Bath and Body Works had a little bit of extra nuances going on. We talked about some citrus. We talked about a little bit of the olive oils coming across as kind of a salad of sorts. This candle, authenticity through the roof. It makes me wonder. I mean, I wish if it said if this was made from, and I don't think it's an essential oil. It's probably a fragrance oil. But it's just Monica drinks. She's probably already mentioned it. She's been drinking celery juice. This is the kind of stuff that she does. She makes celery juice. She claims that it's been huge, having a lot of health benefits to it. And I'm telling you, Monica, because of, well, like we said, the comparison of that tomato vine with celery aroma, if you like that smell of celery, man, this is going to be your cup of tea. It did retail for quite a bit. This was not an inexpensive candle, and it's really cold in this room. Have to keep it that way, so that stifles the aromas of all of these candles. If it was true room temperature, these would be I almost said the word throw. I'm gonna say the word throw. They would be throwing off a lot more aromatics, but since it's so cold, but with that said, it's still super strong. So I have a feeling if you burn this candle, it's going to you better have a big living space. And you better like tomato vine. So that was interesting. Very much a late summer kind of topic, but been wanting to do that for a while. And let's do. How are we doing here? I'm trying to see guys, if I'm missing any questions, go ahead, and I give you full permission to repost. Just anything you want. Honestly, keep it family friendly, but anything you want. Or if you're just sitting back and watching me, and you're not in the mood to chat, I'm gonna encourage you. Come forward. Come out of the darkness. Don't lurk. Come out of the darkness. Ask a question, and then you can go have a seat. Sounds good. I was literally making a smoothie in my Vitamix as I was listening to Shane talk about the smoothie candle. There you go. Vitamix. Who's a Vitamix person? Who's a Blend Tech person? Who is a NutriBullet person? Or do you use any other blender? I've always been a Vitamix person. I actually have the Culinary Institute of America model that a lot of people see it and they thought I got it for free because I went to the school. No, I'm still paying for that thing. They were expensive years ago. They're still expensive, but I dropped a lot of money for it. Did you draw and paint? Oh, that. No, Goodwill. I recently unpacked a lot of my stuff from California. It's been years. I had things still packed away, and I found all of these things that were hanging on my walls, and I'm totally a Goodwill thrift store kind of person. Hello, Diane. How are we doing? Monica, do you guys prefer Parisian or English cucumbers? I don't know enough to say. Here's one that if you're a Bath and Body Works person, I'm sure you know. Again, not necessarily a spring candle, but this is an any time of the year kind of candle. And since we're talking about my favorite Bath and Body Works candles. Here's another one from the same collection, but this has been released. I'm sure they release this all of the time. Maybe different names, I don't know. But Georgia Peach. Even if you don't like fruity candles, or if you don't like stone fruit, you don't like peaches, you don't like nectarines, or you know, a lot of peach home fragrances can, remind people of, like, I don't know how to say it, like back in middle school, the girls' lip balms and the body sprays from Bath and Body Works, right? The peach thing, peach and French vanilla. When I was in grade school, the girls would douse themselves with this. So it is a very kind of, to me, peach candles. They, just for me personally, they remind me of, like, just bubblegum chewing, being 14 years old, being on the school bus, girls doused with Bath and Body Works body sprays. So peach was never really a candle that I would ever search for. It's just not usually my thing, but easily, and those of you who know this candle probably might agree with me, one of the most impressive stone fruit candles, I mean, of any company, big or small. This was a part of the Hit Refresh collection. Again, we have that very nice, beautiful Georgia pink. Is it pink? Maybe there's a better name for that jar, color-wise. Now, here's the thing. My lord, we could smell this and say, okay, it smells like a peach. But come on. If you have this on the shelf, pull it out. Smell it with me here. You smell this and you tell me that you do not specifically smell the super, this isn't a tart peach. This is a super ripe peach fruit. The flesh of the fruit, right? Super, almost overripe in a good way. But you smell this, you tell me you don't smell the pit of the peach pit. You're gonna think I'm nuts, but we've all done it. We've eaten a fresh peach and we pop the pit in the mouth and we just kind of sucked on it for a little bit. That peach pit has a very specific aroma. Don't lie, you know what I'm talking about, right? Even cooler than that, you can smell. I can smell the skin. The skin of a peach is very specific. It has a very fragrant, slightly even like floral quality to it, and it's so authentic that I can almost, I swear that, like, I'm actually eating, like peeling the skin of the peach and chewing on it. So the whole peach, super ripe peach. In Brooklyn, New York, when I was in college, I used to go to this market called Tomato King, and you could smell these peaches, best peaches in the world. Probably, sent from peach country. But these things were so juicy, and you could smell them from a mile away. Take a bite, and it would just, you couldn't help it. All the juice would drip down your face, but they were so fragrant. So the peach, absolutely. Is it tart too? Yes. But let's keep going. Because there's other things. Peach schnapps. This isn't just, oh, it smells like a peach. This is like you took 100 peaches and condensed it into this little jar. There's such a concentration to this. So peach schnapps all of the way. Without the booze, of course, no kind of alcohol smell, but just a really aggressive, concentrated peach smell. So peach cobbler without any of the savoriness. If you took peaches and you made some form of preserve, or you cooked down the peaches without caramelizing the sugars. This is incredible. Now, if you do have good associations with things like peach lip balm or peach body spray, or if you've walked around stone fruit orchards, that's something I really haven't done. I mean, in the Hudson, the upstate New York area where I grew up, they do grow stone fruit, but not a lot. But so incredibly authentic. And what's sad is some people might smell that and be like, oh, it smells like a peach. Smell it for a little while longer, would you? Smell it for a little while longer. Speaking of those exotic smells slash flavors, I'm shocked that passion fruit is not more popular. It's delicious. Yeah, I agree. I think it's way more popular now than it was a decade ago. I love this. Nikki from Washington Wick says, my husband loves anything that smells like peach and mango. Great. Mango, that's a good point. Although that's super peachy, if you do like mango or nectarine, or apricot, and I was going to mention a fuzzy navel. If you like that cocktail, that candle is out of this world. Laura asked me, what are my favorite? What are your favorite candles for spring? Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. These aren't necessarily my favorite. I'm one of those. I'm a little bit different in that I think a lot of people burn candles seasonally. They burn with the season. They burn autumn candles during autumn. They burn Christmas or holiday candles during the holiday season. They burn summer fragrances during summer. To me, I don't care what time of the year it is. If I'm in the mood to kind of escape to Christmas and it's July, if it's May, I'm gonna do it. I think for me, I think a type of candle that I enjoy for spring, especially this time of year when it's not really spring, it's still cold here. I do. I don't know. I guess kind of what I'm showing you here, a mixture of herbal, grassy, and then some really rich, fruity kind of candles. But that's a really great question. It's hard for me. Floral candles, I really have a difficult time with my sinuses. I buy floral candles. I love floral aromas, but I really can't burn a lot of them because they do kind of agitate my sinuses. So a lot of them I collect and I smell and I keep them on my shelves, but I can't burn them for an incredibly long time. I have that complication too. Great question. Thank you for asking that question. Leslie says, my ex-husband and I are in the process of getting back together, so it's going to be a bit before I can do the candles. I'll definitely be back for the fall. Well, congratulations on all fronts, Leslie. I hope everything's going well. That's great to hear, and I see exclamation points, so that's great. And take all the time you need in the world, because whenever you're ready for the candles, we'll be there with tons of interest. Nancy says, I just bought Winter Clementine by Village Candle, and I love it. I want another one. Dang. I had that. I reviewed it. I haven't edited it. It falls into the category of one of the candles I reviewed before Christmas that never got done. But keep an eye open for that. All right, what do we do? What do we do here? What's next? Take a sip of coffee. We'll do a little bit more Bath and Body Works, but before we go any further, let's talk about one of my favorite small batch candle companies, owned by a dear friend of mine. Those of you who know me know exactly what I'm talking about. Witch City Wicks. Witch City Wicks was really the first small batch candle company that I had the privilege of actually befriending the proprietor and the owner. Out of the kindness of her own heart, years ago, she let me come up and interview her and talk to her, and we've been great friends since. And you know, as a joke a while ago, I said, I don't even remember how it came up, but I said about making, oh, I know why. I wanted to rename a Yankee candle Black Sand Beach Sea Witch, because it had a little patchouli in it, kind of a play off of Witch's Brew, and it's a black candle, so I thought Sea Witch would be a good name for it. So I had like a custom label printed on it, and I talked about it a few times. Several months ago, Liz from Witch City Wicks made a very limited run of, guess what, a candle called Sea Witch. So awesome, so awesome. And it sold out incredibly quick, because that's a great name. It's a great name. You can think about Ursula from The Little Mermaid. You can think about Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid. You know, if you're a fairy tale person, or if you're just into the witch candle combination. You know, the mystic candles, and this was incredible. She sent one to me long after it sold out of the kindness of her heart, as a Christmas gift, Sea Witch, and it came in this beautiful frosted, blackish, a little bit green, frosted tumbler with this wooden top with a gasket on there. So it's like, this thing's not, it takes some gusto to pull that off. But take a look at that. We have this tentacles on the label there. We got bubbles. We're under the sea. We're in the sea. Sea Witch. And why am I bringing this up? Because I'm going to be seeing Liz really soon. Hopefully seeing her real soon. And this candle is something that I really would love to see. Maybe her not bring back to the website, maybe not even bring back to the shop, but I would love to somehow convince her, because I know how many of you guys want this candle, to make a limited run of this candle, and maybe give us a promo code or make it exclusive to the Candle Enthusiast crowd. So another reason to join the Facebook fan group, Candle Enthusiast. Facebook, go on Facebook, request to join. All the information will be there. But this was one of those candles that sold out in a matter of, I think it was a day and a half, and it was a very small run. And it is, by and large, one of the prettiest aquatic candles I've smelled in the longest time. It was totally not what I was expecting. I really was expecting something kind of, you know, patchouli-esque, you know, something dark and rich and musky. But this is like, you really are in the sea. There's the greenish kelp, there's the bright citrus, there's that sea salt mistiness, there's the muskiness from like a bergamot, but that muskiness just reminds you of, like, you know, not necessarily Ursula from like The Little Mermaid, but definitely this mythological creature. Such a beautiful, refreshing, yet still, like, this could be a unisex fragrance. I mean, people would totally wear this, and it's very, there's a lot going on. It's one of those that is, it's not about the pieces. It's the sum of its parts. And so why I'm bringing this up is, go over to Witch City Wicks on Instagram. go over to her on Facebook, write her an email. This is all you have to do. Just go and say, the Candle Enthusiast or Shane showed us that Sea Witch candle, and I would love to get a chance to get my hands on one. That's it. That's all you have to say. Just say you saw it. Just say you heard it. This way she knows that I'm showing you guys, because I know she doesn't tune in all of the time, especially with these lives. But if she sees that you guys are truly interested, it's going to make my job easier to convince her to maybe bring something like this to us exclusively. And if you don't know Witch City Wicks, I'm telling you, what are you waiting for? All right. She's making a perfume roll on of that scent. She might be bringing it back. I mean, Shane, you missed my Alaska question. Just ask it again, Monica, because you know what? I have it on top chat, so they're a little bit out of order and I can't find it. What was your Alaska question? Let's do... Alright, let's do this. I gotta pick my favorites here. This was a gift from Lisa. Is Lisa in the... I did not see Lisa today. Lisa sent me this candle. You know, like I said, Bath & Body Works, it's not that I have anything against Bath & Body Works, but I don't spend a lot of time in there shopping around, snipping candles, because guess what? I'd be buying tons and tons of candles, and I need to kind of stick with, you know, the candle companies that I'm with. But hopefully in this coming year, I'll be talking about more about Bath & Body Works. But this was a gift, and with that said, I still have smelled tons of Bath & Body Works candles. I don't want to make it sound like I don't know anything about them. I've smelled tons of them, and easily, this is one of the most impressive candles. And a big shout out to Lisa, because she knew that this would be totally for me. I love savory baked goods, crispy, crumbly, sweet, spicy, fruity fragrances. I fall for it every time. This candle right here by Bath & Body Works, no label, but we have that really pretty jar, and these little, you know, that ripple texture as if it was wrapped in nylon strings. This is an let's say IHOP candle all of the way. If IHOP, you know, if you're like, oh, IHOP is not good enough for me, fine. Then think about one of the, you know, great cafes or diners that makes your favorite Belgian waffles. Maybe they make their own in-house syrups. This is the most beautiful Belgian waffle pancake breakfast experience right here. This candle, excuse me, I don't know the collection name. It has that lid. It has the boardwalk on there. I remember this collection coming out, but this was called Berry Waffle Cone. And upon first sniff, oh my God. I mean, just do it. Just do it. Not now, because we're hanging out. But when this is done, go on eBay, or if they have re-released this in a different name, or just re-released it in recent days. This is, listen to me, and if it sounds like what I'm saying is halfway good, it's twice as better than the way I'm making it sound. This is like that, you know, that dollop of butter that they put on IHOP pancakes. I don't know what that stuff is. I'm convinced it's not, like, there's more than just butter there. I mean, this stuff is like the most savory, salty, rich, buttery, creamy, warm stuff. That little dollop they put on the top of the pancakes, right? This is such, let's start with that butter. This is such a savory, buttery, salty um, beginning to this candle. Underneath that, we have that warm, crispy, crumbly, perfectly seasoned cake of some kind. We could call this flapjacks, we could call these pancakes, we could call this a waffle, we could call this, what are those, silver dollar corn cakes that look like mini pancakes, you know what I mean? Because there's a little bit of this sweet cornmeal thing going on here, but either way, this is the most flavorful, crispy, crunchy, golden waffle covered in confectioner's sugar, and it's so authentic. But I'm not done. We have the butter, we have that waffle. I'm making myself hungry here. And that's what jumps out at you at first. But remember, this is called berry waffle cone, right? So what jumps at you is that dried baked goods, that fresh off the griddle cake, the salt, the butter, the sweetness. But then we have that rich, chunky, not corn syrup stuff. We're talking about the authentic cooked down compote, boysenberry, dark black fruit, cassis, blackcurrant, call it what you will. Dark black bramble fruit, cooked down, condensed, super sweet, chunky, rich, sweet and tart syrup that's poured all on top of that waffle. Oh my God. And you know what? Why are we stopping? Why would we stop there? Take fresh fruit. Take some fresh fruit, some berries, maybe soak them in some citrus juice for a couple hours, and throw some of that fresh fruit right on top of that Belgian waffle. And it smells like the dry ingredients. That's what's really making this super authentic. Like, if you just, you make, I'm not judging, if you make pancakes with, the pre-mixed pancake mix that's got all the flour and the baking soda and stuff like that, and you smell the inside of that box, or Bisquick, there's a little bit of that, oh, I love it, the strawberry shortcake Bisquick biscuits, right? Not the little sponge cakes, but the actual, the really dense scone-like biscuits. Scone. If this was called black currant scone or something like that, it would totally work as well. But as long as that scone was loaded with butter. This is something I'm telling you. Maybe I don't need to tell you. Maybe you need to tell me. This is easily, I brought this out today for one reason, and one reason only. Super, one of my favorites, absolute most impressive Bath and Body Works candles I've ever smelled. If this didn't go for a good price, I would burn this. I will get one day. Hopefully they re-release this, and it wasn't just like a one-time thing. The fragrance notes on here, sweet summer berries, golden waffle cone. See, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I just don't know why waffle cone. Why waffle cone? And then creamy vanilla, that I see. Like if you wanted to do the Belgian waffle a la mode with a scoop of vanilla, like French vanilla bean ice cream on the side, totally. There's a vanilla creaminess all of the way. I can see that. But by calling it berry waffle cone, just makes it sound like this is gonna be like a summertime, ice cream shop kind of candle. And to me, that is the best breakfast in the world when you're, I don't know, you wake up and you're starved. Like if you woke up, if you were sleeping and was burning that candle and you woke up to the smell of that, and you're like your roommate, oh my god, my roommate's making breakfast, and you go in, you find out it's a candle, you would be very, very, very disappointed. So if you want to torture your roommates or your family, you can do that to them. I'm not suggesting you should. Stephanie, this candle sounds amazing. It really is. Stephanie, how is, you don't have to go into detail, how is, Stephanie's kind of putting together a piece of artwork. A Starbucks, I had, I don't know how many, a whole bunch of Starbucks coffee bags, completely empty. I don't know, I just didn't throw them out. They're so pretty sometimes, I didn't want to throw them out. So we had a contest. Stephanie was really interested in, I suggested making a piece of artwork out of all these bags, anything they wanted. I sent the bags to Stephanie, she's been working on it. And when it's done, we're gonna hang it up. We'll put it in the background, we'll work on it. So how is it coming along, Stephanie? Not to put you on the spot. And okay, let's be very picky here. Let's do one more Yankee Candle and one more Bath and Body Works. I don't know. Let's actually, let me take that back. Ooh, here's a good one. Here's one I was going to show. We'll talk about this some other time. Enchanted Garden. Super cute, right? You got the garden gnome on there. You see, this says outlets a lot. You know, this was, I don't know when this originally came out. This is a 2018 pour. It's a really, really pretty candle. And I've heard people say that that's actually the same recipe, same makeup of another Yankee Candle. But I don't know. I can't say that. I can't remember which one people were suggesting it was a duplication of, but I don't technically, I don't think I agree. Could be wrong. Let's look at another UK European exclusives. This is something that you really, I think, would be a problem for Yankee Candle in the US because of the title. It's silly, but other high-end candle companies or other candle companies don't have a problem with this word, but tobacco flower. There we go, right? Tobacco flower. Yeah, I'm wanting to believe that this is for Yankee Candle because of the stigma, the tobacco, and I just don't know if this would. Ooh. I honestly don't think I smelled this since I bought it. I was in Lake George. Wow, it doesn't smell like tobacco, but it's called tobacco flower. That is really nice. There's like, almost like a little bit. Okay, so let's start with the very creamy, soft. Think of like a really mild lotion, floral, like a white, musky lotion. Like a very, it's not musky. It's so delicately powdery that it's not even musky. And it's a sweet flower. This is really, actually, I am shocked. But there's this star anise, black licorice root beer, thing here that's really, it's very mild. You know, the creaminess and that very slight root beer thing, it almost is it smells um, uh, like a root beer float, like a vanilla ice cream, or maybe just like a root beer with like some whipped cream, that has some very delicate, not even musky floral notes, but powdery, but not musky. You know what I mean? It might not, because powdery and musky are synonymous. But wow. And I just feel like I am totally missing something big here. It's not really green. I mean, unless you think of it as star anise, there's no spice. As far as fruit's concerned, wow, this is, I'm blown away. I own this candle. I actually own in a couple formats. It's not incredibly intense. Here's the problem. It's not incredibly intense. So if you're somebody who needs intensity galore, I have a feeling if you burn this candle, even in a smaller space, it's still going to be very mild. But man, this is really interesting. This is not like any kind of tobacco flavor that you see, like, Tom Ford's whatever it is, tobacco vin. It's not that at all. It's a powdery vanilla, white floral, baby's breath carnation, maybe not baby's breath carnation, with a little bit of that licorice root thing. Wow, okay. Caught me off guard by my own candle here. Take a look for this if that sounds interesting to you. Just know that this is not a high intensity candle. It's just, that's just going to be the nature of the candle. But I am okay with that. A lower intensity candle, I'm good with that. How are we doing on time? I have a lot more candles here, but I think we talked about a lot. Let's just show some runners up. I won't talk about them, but I'll show you what I was going to show you. We all know Bahama Breeze. Some people don't really like it. Some people say it smells like body odor. Happens sometimes with tropical fruit. But some people love this candle. I love it. I think it's a great melon-rich candle. But what's interesting is nobody talks about this candle that came out really around the same time, and it's gone. It's retired. Luau Party. This is it's a little bit deceiving because you see pineapple and what is that? Coconut on the label there, and this is like Smarties candy and stone fruit. Like, this is a real like citric acid, malic acid, the stuff that they put in candies to make them really tart. Tropical fruit, yes, but pineapple and coconut is not what I think of at first. I think of like a really tart stone fruit and I guess tropical fruit. Bunny cake, maybe in outlets, I'm sure it is. Wasn't released in retail last year, but Easter is coming around the corner, and if you love a coconut cake, this is definitely a candle you should seek out. This was a limited edition that came out a while ago, and it kind of made a return last year in retail. We still have a long time for Easter, so I'll talk about this later. This definitely smells authentic, lower intensity. Again, not a bad thing. What were some of the other ones? Eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is something that, if you're really trying to train your nose, you really need to be familiar with eucalyptus. Yes, this is in a mason jar. Your eyes don't deceive you. I had to fix this one, but this candle is just, it just doesn't get the credit it deserves. It's been around since the very early days, early 80s, if not earlier, for Yankee Candle. It, why? Why, why is it still not around? This is a fantastic candle that's more or less has always been super authentic. Eucalyptus. I love it. I love it. This is eucalyptus. This is what we see enhanced in Christmas candles all the time. Forest candles, minty candles, citrus candles. Eucalyptus is such an amazing aroma. So that's a great candle if you want to burn that with another candle, or if you just want super authentic eucalyptus. Old candle here. Country Heather. This is a 83 to 85. We lit this one a long time ago because I bought this used and it was tunneled. But we fixed it live on one of these channels, on one of these lives. Country Heather. You can still find it here and there. It pops up every so often. What's amazing is because this is so old, it's amazing how good it still smells and how authentic it still smells. They just don't make them like they used to. And then here is one no one talks about. You've never heard of it. Not you've never heard of it, but it seems like it's such a great name. It's the actual name of a flower. I was going to go to a florist, actually called by the very name of this candle, and have them smell it. This is a brand new black band, medium-sized jar called Forget Me Not. Look for this one on eBay. They haven't made this one in ages, but this is a really fun, interesting beach, by the harbor, by the coast, beach, floral experience. Candle, that salty sea air pouring in. I love that one. I posted a bunch of pictures of my Bay Breeze collection. I think that candle is comparable to Bay Breeze, and yet you never hear anyone talk about it. Two other candles that I was going to show you from Bath and Body Works. Again, these were all Hit Refresh collection. I just couldn't. I did a big video on this Hit Refresh collection, and I couldn't let these go. But this one is awesome. If you really want to hear me talk about this entire collection, I did a two-part video on my main channel. This one is Eucalyptus Rain, and man, it is gorgeous. Aromatic Eucalyptus Raindrop Spearmint Leaves Fresh Melon. This is a spring candle. This is my kind of spring candle right here, because it smells like you're in a field of flowers, vegetation after a rain, and all of that, all the aromatics from the floor of that forest or meadow is just pouring up into your nose. Another Hit Refresh collection, Lavender Vanilla. This was a great collection, man. Let me tell you. Lavender Vanilla. So we had the lemon lavender, or lavender vanilla, or the lavender lemon by Yankee Candle. This is super creamy. This is lavender ice cream. I'm not kidding. Like French vanilla ice cream, homemade ice cream or gelato infused with dried lavender. A little bit of shaved coconut, grated coconut, and a very sweet white musk. Highly recommend that, and big time lavender, obviously. Highly recommend that. So we talked about most of these candles. This was fun. Really trying to how do we transition here? So I talked about that. I have my third channel coming up. Really trying to get all my ducks in a row, and just trying to pick up the pieces. Most of you guys know that I've taken a very long time away from YouTube. I don't like it. I don't like that I did it. I don't like the way I feel, taking a break like this. But I have so much stuff to catch up on, and had so many things I wanted to jump right into at the beginning of 2019, and now just things are just piling up. So just have patience with me. Spread the word that I'm not gone. I haven't disappeared. Just because you don't see videos popping up, trust me, it does not mean that I'm not working my butt off. I'm really trying to take what we're doing here with the candle. And this is just a fun live channel, but I'm really trying to take the content that I'm making and bring it to the next level, while also providing other avenues as far as websites and merchandise and just developing my relationship with a lot of companies, candle companies, and other businesses that really have nothing to do with fragrance. That's really what the new channel is going to be about. Is just pure destination-based channel of higher quality videos, where the Candle Enthusiast will always be just evaluations of candles, and hopefully, not hopefully, I very much plan to be pumping out a lot of candle evaluations of all different kinds of companies several times a week. And then we'll always have this live channel for spontaneous live videos so that we can interact, but also have Smell It Sunday. And I really appreciate everyone's support. I'm reading your comments. I really appreciate everyone's support of, just because, it's just, disappearing from YouTube when, people expect to see your videos. It's, it's just, you got to be a responsible YouTuber. And I feel like taking this much time off was not something I wanted to do, but it was very much necessary. And just trust me, in time, we're going to look back and say, wow, I really do. I have lots of fun things planned, very ambitious things, and lots of things are happening behind the scenes. So a few things I just want to plug. Just make sure, if you are not a part of the Facebook fan group, I said it several times during this live, I usually don't push it that hard, but I think we're getting to a point as far as the size of the group where having, it used to be this little intimate, Facebook group, but now we just have so many people from so many different places in the world who have different interests, who bring different comments and feedback to the group. It's just a fun place, and I would love to see it grow. And the moderators who put so much work into the group, I would love to, love for people to witness all the work that they're putting into it. So the Facebook fan group, the Candle Enthusiast, check it out. Follow me on social media. It's the best way to find out what I'm doing. I always put little Easter eggs in there, but also, while I'm, still trying to put the pieces together, I'm just trying to, make myself present as much as I can on social media. As always, this is something I haven't mentioned in a while. If you ever want to send me anything, I'm not talking about gifts, I'm talking about things you want to see me open live on one of these live shows, whether it be a $2 candle whether it be something that you enjoy that's aromatic, anything you want to send my way, make sure you check out the description below in any one of my videos. So you can send anything to my P.O. box. All I ask is that you just don't spend a lot of money. But if you send me something, I will be glad to open it up live on one of these channels. We haven't done an unboxing in a long time. Patreon.com. How do I fund the channel? Well, I have been on hiatus, but when things get back rolling, and I kind of, spending a lot of money getting this site together and making the Candle Enthusiast like an actual official LLC business. These things cost money. So if there's any amount, any sum of money, a penny, $1, $10 a month you want to contribute, 100% of your pledge goes to helping fund the show. Think of it as an investment for the future of the show. There's different tiers, so patreon.com is one of the ways you can do that. You can also, if you don't want to send, you want an anonymous donation, you can deposit, again, a penny, $1, whatever you can afford, into the Candle Enthusiast PayPal account. Or, this is cool, I like this. A lot of people didn't like the idea of sending money, and I kind of understand that. I have an Amazon wish list. Everything on there is for the production value of my bigger videos. So if you rather not contribute cash, but you want to, contribute, someone just bought a rechargeable GoPro battery, which is awesome. I mean, I can't tell you how great something like that was. I mean, they're pretty expensive, but I'm just telling you, something like that alone really helps. So I hate to promote ways of how you can give, because I'd rather give to you guys. I don't want you to see you give me anything. To be a responsible YouTuber, I have to promote these things. So that is, I think, going to be it. I want to thank everyone for joining in. Make sure when this video is posted, if you have any questions, that you post them in the comments below. I'm trying to do, and I actually have been, I think I've been doing pretty well. I used to answer every single comment of all my videos, and I'm trying to keep up with that trend. So make sure if you have any questions, or if you want to reach out to me directly, there's ways of doing that, especially on social media. If anyone's got any final questions, I'll take them. Otherwise, thank you for joining in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That's what I forgot. We have 35 people in the room and 20 thumbs up. Can you hit that thumbs up? It helps me out. It really does. You don't know, but it does. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content. And if you're not subscribed, of course, you gotta make sure you subscribe. Not to just Aromatically Speaking, but the Candle Enthusiast, my main channel. I have a lot of great comments here. Garlic ice cream. Oh, good God. Nancy says, you're a real person, Shane. You need time to renew just like anyone else. Well, I've had plenty of time. I really appreciate that comment, Nancy. I have plenty of time. I'm still trying to pick up the pieces, but just like I said, just know that I am working a lot. Just, it doesn't, the videos haven't been pouring out. Any questions? I have a small goodie box ready. Ooh, Stephanie has a small goodie box. Well, you know where to send that, and we'll make sure that we open that live on Smell It Sunday. Looking forward to the Crown Maple videos, says Stephanie. Yes, I'm gonna put something together. That whole experience, I went to a maple house, or maple farm, Crown Maple, in New York, and had a wonderful day, had a wonderful tour of the facility, talked with the sugar maker, and that's what they're called, the sugar maker of Crown Maple. They have distribution all over the world now. Really fantastic products. Bourbon barrel aged maple syrup, infused maple syrups, and I filmed for a day. I just I felt I contacted the proprietor, the owner, and I'm like, I think I need to come back and fill out some other footage, because I didn't think I had a video from the material that I had, but I think I'm just going to edit what I had. I did a full tasting of every product they had. I'm very sensitive to sugar. I was definitely really I had a sugar buzz. I think it's kind of funny. So the video will be kind of a brief tour of the maple house, the farm, out by the trees, the maple trees, talk, a little bit of a conversation with the owner and the maple maker, but mainly the video is going to be a tasting of every single product they make. I will get to that one good. Not to be confused with a sugar baker. Apple TV. This one's a little bit, it's too much movement. I'm noticing now. And I don't like the fact that it switches from things. But yeah, this is cool. If you have an Apple TV, there's a lot of different applications on your Apple TV that have these backgrounds. That's actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's very disorienting. I don't like the fading back and forth. All right, folks. So I want to thank you once again for joining in. Always my pleasure. This is always a highlight of my week to just sit back, have some coffee, talk about candles, talk with you fine folks. It truly is not work for me at all. This is absolutely my pleasure, and I just want to thank you for, just coming, for popping in every so often to hang out with me on these Sundays. Lots of big stuff coming up for the Candle Enthusiast and my new channel. There's lots of stuff. All I can say is please just have a little bit of patience, and just know that I haven't disappeared. I haven't thrown in the towel. I haven't gone away. I'm just trying to get all the ducks in a row, and then big things to come. That's it. Everyone have a wonderful Sunday evening. Have a good dinner. Spend some time with friends, family. Spend some time alone. Watch a movie. Relax. It's Sunday. Have a fantastic evening. And I will be talking to you folks real soon. Commentaries on my travel videos coming soon. Commentaries, audio commentaries. I'm excited about that. I'm excited. Audio commentaries. Have a great day, guys. Hit subscribe and that thumbs up button.